Welcome to this week's Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. We have been on a very, very long hiatus, but we are back in business. Tonight it is me, Al Rainey, Xavier Randall will be joining us shortly, and Vincent will be making his long-awaited return. Al, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir. It's been a while since we've been on. However, we are back on. It's good to be here. For anyone that joins us this evening, I thank you for being here. We have a lot of stuff to discuss tonight, and I hope you are ready to be entertained.
All right. Well, let's get right into the thick of things. Uh, Last week, the debut of Wonder Woman in the movie theater, and I will tell you, Al has given me the blessings of the spoiler. Uh, I will tell you firsthand, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm rating this movie a strong 8.5, 9. This is top of the line theater. DC has outdone themselves with this movie. This movie to me, and this is to me, is better than Batman Begins and better than The Dark Knight Rises. I really think that this movie was shot properly. I feel like the whole feel of the movie was good. You got a strong origin from the beginning. You've even got a couple of you've got a couple of villains that were established out of the gate. Uh, you've got just so much that's going on. This movie just it's just one of these movies, man. It has the same. I feel like it had the same kind of effect that Guardians of the Galaxy had. The first one, you wasn't quite sure what you were gonna get going into the theater, but once you got in, you were pleasantly surprised. Now I know you hadn't had a chance to go see it, and you were planning on going to see it today. So, like you said, I think you said you're gonna go try to catch it this weekend.
Hmm.
But I'm telling you, man, it's really good, man, and I really think that DC surprised themselves. And I tell you what, I was thinking about something today while I was out in the yard working. Is that I'm really thrilled to see female directors get a break because it's so male dominated. But this goes to show, and I saw an article you posted earlier this evening in regards to Ghostbusters, and a lot of people gave that movie a lot of slack. Man, it was like, oh man, nobody wants to support it because it's an all female movie, what have you. No, it's just plain and simple. Ghostbusters suck, and everybody knew it.
Right.
I mean, you look at how good Wonder Woman was. It was directed by a woman antagonist. I mean, it was a really, 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 really good movie, man. Ghostbusters was just garbage, and I just heard from Xavier, which we'll get this confirmed when he gets on, that they canned the sequel to that Ghostbusters. So I don't even know why they were even thinking about it. So how
Well,
about you just scrap that and just move on and go get kids or whatever and bring them on, but don't go back down that route again. But back to Wonder Woman, uh, I just feel like the uh, the whole landscape of the movie was good. I just feel like the story was just excellent, man. You even got your it brings it to present day. Uh, I know you said spoil it, so I'm not gonna give away too much. I'm gonna wait for the other guys to get on, and we'll discuss that. And we have to revisit it, but I just feel like it was a really solid movie. I thought it was good. It's definitely a go see it. If I did not have something to do last Friday, I would have seen it twice. That's how good it was. Now, Al, do you want to give any limited thoughts on Wonder Woman? Because I know you can't go too far into it, but you know.
as far as it goes, my whole thing is what we talked about before. Good to see you, X. Glad you could make it. Um, but basically, what I said before. I think DC was riding. There was a lot riding on this particular movie. I believe that this was the movie, and Vincent shows up as well at the same time. He's not on, but good to see you, Vince. Um, I think that Wonder Woman was this movie that people were looking for. I think it was pretty much um, it had to be a jam up movie for DC. Vince, I see the top of your head, sir. They, welcome, sir. Welcome. But I think it was with that movie that desperately needed in order to rekindle the charcoals of the DC cinematic universe. And apparently it delivered. Like you said, man, I was planning on going to see it today, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I couldn't. But I will be going to see it this Saturday. Critics love it. The fans love it, with the exception of a few butt hurt people. But you can't please everyone. It's shattering records, which is good. I've never been that type of person to think that a movie that was helmed by a female lead couldn't be successful. But you got to understand, it really depends on the subject matter. It depends on the story. It depends on the characters. There's a lot of stuff involved. Case in point, Catwoman. Catwoman, it didn't do bad because it was Holly Berry was the lead. Holly Berry was at the top of her game at the time that movie came out. She was a box office draw. That movie just sucked.
Yeah.
Same goes for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters didn't reek amongst the populace because it was four female leads. That movie was terrible. It sucked. It was garbage, and that's the reason why that movie failed. So there's a lot of stuff that you got to take into consideration when you're dealing with a situation like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is financially going to be a success for DC. Hopefully, um, this will put stoke that fire to allow them to be a little bit more competitive with Marvel, because competition is always good. It actually brings out the best in people when they compete. So hopefully, with everything that's going on um, with Wonder Woman, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it, the reshoots that they're doing, the Justice League. I'm honestly hoping at that time um, that they bring the funk, especially with Joss Whedon at the helm of Justice League now. But all in all, I was happy to hear that Wonder Woman did well. I will be going to see it, and hopefully, I will be as entertained as everyone else was. So, um, I'm gonna slide it over to my man Xavier Randall and let him give his thoughts and opinions on it. Have you seen it yet, X?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can,
Well, tell me about it.
you want spoilers or non-spoiler?
Well, I don't know how many people was watching this evening. To me, it makes me no never mind, because it's not
Yeah.
like I'm just gonna punch through a wall and somebody say, "Oh, Deathstroke was in the movie." Like, I ain't like that. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean,
So
if you're watching the show right now and you don't want to know what happened to Wonder Woman, we're going to briefly pause for 5 seconds for you to mute the mic. Carry on, Xavier.
All right. To be honest with you, I mean, yes, it is the best Marvel movie. I mean, not Marvel, DC movie since The Dark Knight, in my opinion. Um, Anybody that liked Captain America: First Avenger should enjoy this movie right here. I mean, it's virtually the same movie, just give or take different backgrounds and whatnot. But to me, the movie was put together well. There were some ups and downs to the movie, but I mean, it's not like you expect her to have a fast-paced action movie from beginning to end when she's trying to show where she came from and leading up to when she becomes Wonder Woman. Um, the thing that I really did like the most about the movie, and it's not even telling you the movie, is how they did not throw the villain in your face like every other movie did in the past. You know, to me, it was just a well put together movie from beginning to end. The pace of it was perfect, in my opinion. I don't like how gullible and naive she is, but hey, she has to grow somehow, some way. But hey, if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Vince, welcome back, my friend.
Oh, good
Your
to be
thoughts
back.
on your thoughts on Wonder Woman, man, my man?
I don't know. I don't know what I could add to it. To be honest with you, I mean, X pretty much said everything that me and him talked about on the sidebar one time.
Right.
Um, like I said, I mean, it's pretty good. It's the best one. Like X said, since the Batman Dark Knight trilogies, Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale. I mean, Man of Steel was good, but I mean, Batman v Superman had its flaws. Obviously, we all know that. So,
Right.
if anything, this made me want to see Justice League just much more. You know, like can it be November already? Um, I will say I also agree with the whole villain how it was portrayed. Not necessarily like look at me, look at me, look at me. We knew who it was, but we didn't know who it was.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
Without saying too much on that one, it's like okay, well, we all know it's Aries, but like how is Aries doing this? Is Aries in the forefront? Is he just influencing people? Like whatever. But I think the major critique for me is um, the high point of the movie, which is No Man's Land.
Yeah.
It seemed like it came too early,
Right.
in my opinion, because it fizzled out just a smidgen right after that scene, and then it picked back up for the main fight at the end. But it seemed like there was too much time in between No Man's Land and then the main fight with Ares at the end. But other than that, she commanded the role. I mean, just like what she did in Batman v Superman, she pretty much she stole the show. Then, I mean, she owned the character now. Like, I mean, I would say modern day. I mean, she will probably go down as being like the Wonder Woman, just like Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, and I can never see anybody else playing Iron Man. I think it's going to go that way, especially if Justice League wanted to go extremely well and she has cameos in other movies. I'm pretty sure she's going to be on that level within the DC extended universe.
She
But
definitely is a Wonder Woman.
yeah,
Yeah, she definitely played that role, man. And I
yeah,
tell you, man, I just like Ben said, I can't see anyone else playing that role as Wonder Woman going forward. It's just gonna be really hard for somebody to step in and play that role.
yeah. I mean, just like Wolverine. I mean, seriously, I don't want to see anybody else be Wolverine, but I mean, hey, it is what it
I
is.
I do. I do.
I'll take X-23. I'll take that, but whatever.
I really wanted to see Tom Hardy play Wolverine.
Well, I could. Okay, that's for another discussion.
Right.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
It ain't gonna ever happen though.
Nope.
Not with him being Venom.
Yeah, if that even happens now, for real.
Right.
But I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll also stay on Wonder Woman, and there was another article that Al posted today that apparently Wonder Woman is not American enough.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Al, I'll let you take this one away, my friend.
Well, really, all I got to say about that, man, is that we live in a climate today where politics will overtake any and everything. Somebody could probably make a post about Little Debbie snack cakes, and all of a sudden politicians are going to say that these snack cakes are causing obesity amongst Americans, and we need to stop it, and all this kind of stuff. I don't understand how political pundits can get on TV and holler and scream that Wonder Woman wasn't patriotic enough. She didn't represent America when they're putting their foots in their mouths because, for one,
She's not
anyone with
representing
half a
America.
brain. Right. Anyone with half a brain that has any knowledge of Wonder Woman, even if you were just a casual person, going back to the days of Kathy Lee Crosby and Linda Carter, would know that Wonder Woman is an Amazonian. And of course, she came from Themyscira, which is, of course, a fictional island somewhere in the Mediterranean. So that should tell you right there she's not American, number one. Number two, why should it even matter if she wasn't American enough in the movie when Wonder Woman has always been an ambassador for peace for everyone? I get tired of people sitting around talking ish about stuff that they don't know, and then they make themselves look more like jackasses at the end of the day because you sitting around trying to make something political out of something that's a freaking movie. We already had 3 Captain America movies. What else do you need? America.
I got a question. I got a quick question. So are these same people that saying that she's not American enough going to complain about Aquaman not being American enough?
Pretty sure these probably gonna be the same people that when Black Panther drops, man, it's gonna be tied to all kind of terrorists, Black Lives Matter, Black Panther Party, the Hotep movement. I can pretty much tell you. I mean, people have gotten to a point now, man, to where any and everything offends people, and we live in that particular climate, and it's a sad statement to say because everybody is looking. It's like people are looking to be offended. They're nitpicking. Why would you nitpick a movie that depicts a woman that's not an American protecting the freedoms of other
Right.
people just because they had wartime scenes in the movie? That does not necessarily mean she's an American. I know these people aren't watching this show, but if you are, y'all are fools. Y'all are complete utter idiots, and y'all need your common sense license revoked and then revoked immediately because you all are dumber than a box of bricks. You all are dumber than a fly that's caught on a fly trap and he pulls his legs off. You are as dumb as um you are as dumb as that boy on The Simpsons that Police Chief Wiggum's son. That's how dumb you are.
Ralph. Ain't it Ralph?
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah.
Ralph Wiggums, you are dumb. You are stupid. That's all I got to say about it, man.
Okay, well, we're gonna let Al have that segment. That has been Al's rant for tonight. Let's let's move on
Thank you.
and let's stay in the DC world and let's discuss about those DC reshoots for the Justice League. I think that the higher up saw was like, oh wait a minute, whoa, Wonder Woman is really top notch. We better make sure this is done right because if this is not done right, then we just basically start. We got to start all the way over again. And I don't think that DC is in a situation to where they can reboot and start over again. So
They
I
have too
think
much
that
invested already.
yeah, exactly. I think that they've really now Justice League has really got to pull in Avengers, which is they got the right man for the job to do it. So this,
They have
you
the
know,
man for the
yeah, I'm
job to
saying
do
they
it.
have the man to do it. So I think that they can get that fixed, and I won't be surprised if we actually see a completely reshot trailer and all of that stuff debuting once those shots are retaken.
I hope not.
Me personally, let me tell you, me personally, I would be fine if they pushed the movie back. That's just me. I'll be fine if they said, you know what, we're going to do it in 2018, or what have you.
Yeah. Bring it out in February like all
Yeah,
the
I
other
mean,
hits
February,
are.
March, April. I mean, you know, the hell with trying to go up against Deadpool and all that, man. If you need to come out a week or so before Deadpool, then a week after Deadpool come out, then you know, do what you need to do. But push the movie back, man. Don't try to force. You know how we are about crap. Don't go try to spoon feed us crap. And you got something good. We finally got the ball rolling in the right way. So let's keep it rolling that way. Vince, thoughts on DC reshoots, my friend?
Well, I mean, I totally agree with what everybody's saying. It's like, this is your big franchise here. So you kind of want to make sure that you do it right. As much as I don't want to say push it back, only because it comes out the day after my birthday. Um, which I don't need necessarily need to be spoon fed crap. Especially, I mean, if this is going to be make or break the DCEU, in my opinion. I mean, they got the good steam from Wonder Woman because obviously they tripped horribly out of the blocks with the first two deals. Well, not the first two, but obviously you know what I'm talking about as far as Batman v Superman. But they're trying to do too much too quick, putting it out probably when it shouldn't have been put out. And I've been saying this, I think, a lot today, and I don't know how much Snyder's vision is going to be on Justice League, but I honestly think at this point, after seeing how well Wonder Woman did, I think we need to take this man and remove him as far as possible.
Right.
From what DC is doing. Okay, keep his name there, let him minimally oh yeah, here, there, but artistically control, let the directors do what they gotta do and let him just oversee but not really tweak. But I mean, the first one where he didn't really have a good say so and fucking is doing great,
Right.
breaking records. I mean, that
Right.
should say something. But as far as with the reshoots, obviously, I mean, they want to make sure that they capture the same tone, which is working right now. So I say I'm all for it. If they're not ready by November, push it back, But I don't want to get pushed back. So I want a happy birthday from DC from me. So I'm sorry, I'm being selfish. Whatever, I don't care.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with
Maybe
that.
thoughts
Um,
on reshoots, my friend?
so I say this because I hate the reason why they're doing the reshoots. I feel um for Snyder's and his family. When you lose a loved one due to that circumstance, it's tough. But at the same time, I'm excited as a DC fan and a movie fan that Josh Whedon is taking over to do the reshoots. Like I said, due to unfortunate circumstances, I hate that it happened, but I'm glad it happened to a certain degree. Because now you have the hands in the man, and I'm not trying to be heartless or anything, but you have the hands in the man that basically evolved the MCU. You know what I mean? Like Iron Man, that was a good movie. I love Iron Man 1. I love most of Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. I'm not going to talk about it, but Avengers, that is what really brought everybody into the MCU. Now you have this man that's going to he's going to do the reshoots for Justice League. He's going to put his stamp in the DCEU and hopefully bring it back to what we want and what we should have as fans. Um, as far as like with Vince, I agree. Push him out of the way, but bring him in to do all of the intro scenes for the DC movies because his intros are always top notch.
Yeah, that
You
intro
know,
for the new DC intro is
No, it
really
was nice.
oh, that's dope. That
that
is
is like
dope.
really cool, man. If you Al, you're gonna absolutely love the new intro.
It feels like the animated intro.
It really does.
It is dope.
And that's what I read. They actually compared the cinematic intro to like the Justice League cartoon intro. So I can dig that.
It's a little better than the Justice League cartoon intro. When I say animated series, I'm talking about like all of the animated movies that we love. Those intros, man, it's up there with that. If not, like a toe further out above it. You know what I mean?
Al, thoughts on the reshoots, my friend?
I think it's a good thing. I think they probably felt like that they had to get um, Josh Whedon, however you pronounce his last name, input in it. Um, Coupled that with the fact that, of course, Wonder Woman is doing great. I think that they had no choice but to go back and say, hey, we could probably retweak these scenes a little better, make them a little better because right now they have good field position. So it's up to them to basically go ahead and set the tone for the rest of the DC cinematic universe. Justice League, and I haven't seen Wonder Woman, and I have read that there were, certain characters that they introduced in Wonder Woman, but I have the feeling that Justice League will be that vehicle that they can actually bring in additional DC characters in. Of course, even though he's not in the movie, there's talk of Green Lantern being possibly in the movie, according to Henry Cavill or Cavill or whatnot. So I think at the end of the day, the reshoots are good. I'm with Vince. Of course, my birthday's in December, but I would rather for them to just go ahead and you know do what they need to do, get everything done as soon as possible, not rushing, of course, but within a considerable pace. And if they can release the movie with the reshoots and edits by the original release date, I say go for it. But like y'all said, I'm not one to be no spoon fed no crap because we've already had crap with Man of Steel and some half sweetened crap with Batman versus Superman. So
Yeah, I'm really glad for DC, man, because just people just waiting to slaughter DC for another bad movie. And I think the thing that really shook people up, and I mean, even right now, it's still like 93%, is the rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the highest rated superhero movie ever on Rotten Tomatoes. That's absolutely astonishing, considering what we've seen beforehand. And I think that a lot of people were kind of when it came out, and I know when I talked to Antonio, he said it. He was kind of like a lot of people said Suicide Squad was good before it hit the theater, and so people still had that little bit of doubt there. But I'm just so elated that DC finally got a winner, and it's a character that I like too. That's another thing. So I was really excited that it turned out, and I think that if they continue to take their time with movies, and because you know, another thing that Wonder Woman did that I think that I really want Justice League to do is don't show too much in the trailers, man. Keep it on lock. We never saw the villain at all for Wonder Woman. So no, we had an idea who it probably was, but we did not see the villain. And that was really good that we saw the villain in the movie. You actually went in and you were like, okay, well, we know that he's here. And like we said earlier, who is it? And so you able to get a good solid build up for the final fight. So all right, so with that we're going to move on, but we're going to still stay in the DC universe, and I am so elated.
Matt,
that
before you move on real quick, do y'all remember when they were saying how Wonder Woman it was projected to bring in the least amount of money for the DCEU? If I'm not mistaken, she only did $68 million less than Batman v Superman, and that's having the three main characters of DC in one movie. Like she brought in like 105 million over the weekend, and I think they brought in 168 million the opening weekend. That right there, just having one character, shows how good this movie is and how strong Wonder Woman is on her own. So if they do it right, everything else from here on out can actually be a good movie and a cash crop for them at the same time.
Yeah,
which is great for us as fans.
Yep. I'm like I said, I'm elated that DC got a win and got a solid character they can rally behind. I mean, let's just be frank. I really think that DC was going to struggle. Me personally, I thought DC was going to struggle after those that Dark Knight trilogy went down because of. I just did not see Batman and Superman. I just really couldn't see that. In retrospect, now I know why they did it. To get us to Justice League, but I just I really thought that they were going to struggle a little bit after that. So it's really good to see now that they have a franchise that has kind of lit the fuse a little bit, and due to the circumstances that you've got a great producer, director directing the movie now. So we shall see. We shall see. We've got quite a little ways to go in the DCU universe. I can tell you what, man. If it's anything like how Injustice 2 is, then we on a. If it's anything that holds up to that, then yeah, we are really in for a treat down the line. So, all right, so let's stay in the DC universe. Larry really hates this show because we were talking DC for the last hour. The Flash season finale. Yeah, it's been a while. That's how long it's been since we have not been on. We hadn't had a chance to talk about the Flash season finale. And yes, the remote was thrown across the room at the end of that episode. And if you notice, and this is for people who are watching, we have another group that we all chat in all the time. And if you notice, I did not say anything about the Flash.
Nope.
Not one word. That I put that episode of the Flash on Iron Fist level. You talk about bad. You talk about a horrible build up. I was so disgusted with the way that show ended. I was just like, if you're gonna do all this, man, why didn't y'all just end this show 8 weeks ago? Why? What? Why? And who? And you've already done Flashpoint. So explain to me how we're gonna pull. I want to see how you're gonna pull this one off.
It's gonna be rebirth. That's all it's gonna end up being. It's gonna end up being rebirth.
So you're saying we're gonna get a Godspeed? We're gonna fast forward,
In
Well,
let
season
let
we're
five,
not
Mary
gonna get a
become.
speedster. Well, it's
in
been
season
confirmed.
five, it'll
We're
be
not getting a
Godspeed.
speedster. We're gonna get the thinker. This is why I wanted. I was hoping Antonio joined us tonight. This you go get the thinker. The thinker's gonna be on next season. So I mean, in a way, I'm glad because I'm tired of speedsters. I'm all spit out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all spit out. But you've got once again. I'll go back. I'll channel my inner Antonio Coleman, Gorilla Grodd. You had him on there for a little bit. He's off. You got
He's
all these characters that you could have had that now they're off.
Gorilla Grodd was pointless in the 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes that he was in. Well, I take it back. One out of the 3 or 4 that he was in was good. The rest of them was pointless. But they need to stop trying to. They need to stop trying to reinvent the wheel and just keep it spinning. That's what they need to do. They need to go back to what worked in season 1 and season 2. I think we even touched this on the show a while back. What is wrong with having multiple villains like in one season? You know what I mean? You can have the first half of the season dealing with one villain, and then when they get done taking care of him, the second half they're like, oh shit, now we got to do it all over again. I think that is what will keep us intrigued and interested in season 4 of The Flash to bring us back to what it was season 1 and season 2.
Yeah,
And I'm still trying to get over how did Caitlyn kill the Black Flash, but she struggled against Savitar.
I mean that's what I'm talking about.
I don't get it. You kill the speedster, right? That like the speedster Grim Reaper, so to speak, with ease, but you couldn't do anything with Savitar and or Barry Allen, the Flash.
Yeah, that
Well,
was some hell of a armor. That's what it was. It was the armor.
Man,
well,
if
the thing about it is
if
that
Barry phased through it, it ain't that hella armor.
well, you see that goes that leads to the argument of why do they make these characters, man, and I don't think anybody realized that. And I know this is TV and all this, but why do you have characters who they get defeated by some of the most stupidest ways of
The
defeat?
dumbest things.
I mean, dude, I mean some of the I mean I mean uh uh what was my boy's name, man? In the first couple of seasons we had, I can't even think of his name now. Mirror Master. He just walked through him. I mean, easily with ease. He just walks through these characters, man. And then he struggled for 10 episodes with Saboteur.
Because he was a Mirror Master.
Well, nah,
I
he
mean,
like even when he went to the future, he was still getting his ass whooped by damn
Right.
what Vertigo and Mirror Master at the same time. So
I
yeah,
mean, Vince, you hadn't been on a while, so we'll let you tee off on Flash.
I mean, I really don't know what else I could add. I mean, it was anticlimactic throughout. I would say like if they would have wrapped it up before they did their mid-season break,
Right.
I would have been okay with that.
Right.
Because they drug out. I mean, didn't they have a musical episode
Yes,
this
they did.
season?
Well, see,
And then
that's
they wasted a whole episode of him trying to get rid of his memory, and then the after effects of all
Yes.
that. I was like, this is like on the Naruto level of filler episodes.
no, it's on the Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, you leave my show alone, okay? I'm talking about Naruto right now. But
Say
Or
GT,
better,
don't
it's
say
the
Z.
farm on Walking Dead.
well, I'll give you that one. But I mean, there was so many pointless things in this daggone season that just didn't add up to anything. I mean, they had King Shark on there again. Now he's a guard dog. Like,
Right.
seriously, Argus? Like that's what we're gonna do with him? But I mean, yeah, it was really dumb. I mean, and the whole season of him like, oh, I messed up the timeline by going into the past or in the future or the case. Then you go into the past and get Captain Cold so you can go rob Argus because now you want to act like you know are against the wall because your woman's gonna die, but it's your fault anyway. But you know it. I'm glad it's over. It comes back. What is it? October 10th. I saw. I think today is that when it premieres is October 10th.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see what the rumor mills and what pictures they release and some other trailers to see what kind of you know stuff we gonna have to deal with next season. Because I mean, him being trapped in the Speed Force because he took Jay's place, and I mean, so it's like, so are we gonna get more Kid Flash, or I mean, which I'm cool with. I mean,
Right.
because he needs to grow up. I mean, it's bad enough if we're going to season 4 and we don't even have a really strong Barry Allen, but I'm pretty sure once we get into season 4, we'll have a very strong Kid Flash, and that's just my prediction on that one. But
Well, this is one of the things that I really hope they cut out for next season, and you alluded to it just a
The
few minutes
love
ago. So,
story.
well, that you need to cut out these musicals, cut out
please,
this silly stuff, man. And short, if you know what, man, a good 16 episode season and move on, because they drug this thing out and it diluted the last 10 episodes. It was so drawn out that we were all fatigued. I mean, if you really think about it, you could have combined the last episode and the episode before that and made that a 2 hour season finale. Hour and a half or whatever, and
mm,
been done with it. But instead, you drag it out, which therefore it dilutes the end result.
it doesn't have
You
the
know,
same punch. Yeah,
doesn't
Right.
have the same punch. Whereas if it was a 2 hour season finale, then you could kind of go, okay, well, it is what it is. I just think they need to start shortening the shows, man. I mean, just really start shortening some of these shows. Uh, Xavier, I know you were about to say something.
I mean, it's just they need to leave this love story crap out of it. The Flash is not a love story. We know he's in love with Iris West. We get that. We know that. Stop making every episode a grovel and sniveling and boo-hooing. Just show us the Flash. You know what I mean? Stop having Caitlyn and what's his name, Julian.
Malfoy,
Yeah,
Malfoy.
just stop with that. And give me the Flash. Give me what we saw in season 1 and season 2. That's all I ask for. It's not that hard. You have a ton of the Flash's Rose Gallery that you can pick from to give us some substance in those characters and give us a great season like 1 and 2.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
they kind of like cannibalize a good portion of the main rogue gallery that a lot of people outside of comic book and then killing one of them off. And then I don't care about Heat Wave for the most part, but I mean,
yeah,
like,
he's terrible.
I
Prison Break shouldn't be on the show anyway. I'm sorry, but but it's
All right,
like
so Al,
you got all
I'm
this
sorry, Xavier,
stuff.
go ahead.
I'm just saying you got all this to pick from, and they keep going back to the species. The Flash, his main focal point is not fighting against species. I'm sorry. It's you have a million to pick from. Pick them and keep it going.
yep.
Al, I know it's been a while since you watched The Flash. Any thoughts? Did you get a chance to see the season finale?
Well, I mean, based on the conversations that were had in the hall, it didn't really motivate me to watch it. I mean, of course, I'm at work anyway when it comes on while y'all discussing it. I was like, okay, well, X and Vince and TC pretty much give you play by play commentary. And
My bad.
no, that's not a bad thing. One thing that I can appreciate is their unbiased, unabashed, unadulterated opinion. So I mean, if they're sitting there talking about this is ridiculous, why is Salvatore doing this, why is Iris this, and all this kind of stuff, then I'm gonna move with the in crowd. I'm like, yeah, this sucks, and keep it moving. The last time I actually watched The Flash, I got through that god awful Gorilla Grodd storyline, and after that, it was like, do I really want to sit and watch the rest of this crap? And I spoke to myself, and I told myself no. So I didn't. And I think they pretty much burnt out with the whole speedster thing. We get it. It's about 10 billion speedsters in the Flash universe, but they could have broken it down, split it up to where it wasn't such an overload at one particular time or within 1 to 2 seasons. Gorilla Grodd, in my opinion, that should have been the whole season in and of itself. As smart as Gorilla Grodd is in the comic book and in Injustice, you mean to tell me he couldn't get any of the rogues together and form some type of Legion of Doom to get Barry, and he figure out some kind of way to take all of them out over the course of a season? That's your TV watching right there. But
Yeah.
nah, they stick with Iris. I mean, yes, she is a gorgeous lady. Yes, she is fine. Yes, she is sexy. But my God, I mean, how much of that can you take? I love you, Iris. I don't want you to die, but you're gonna die anyway. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that just makes no sense. I think two things that they need in order for people to take the Flash seriously again. One, y'all already mentioned it. Get rid of all this fluffy Beverly Hills 90210 stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have a love story because, of course, you gotta have a love interest. But that's not what the Flash is built upon. The Flash runs fast. He runs faster than the speed of sound. He is quote unquote the fast, which I'm really doubting that at this point on the TV show. Because I mean, I know the last episode I saw, Wally was doing stuff that Barry couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so are you really the fastest man alive? You need to quit telling that lie. Stop lying, Barry.
Episode. Yeah.
Right. Stop lying. So y'all pretty much summed it up, man. I mean, I'm willing to give the next season a chance. I may go back and recap what I missed. It's highly doubtful, but I value y'all's opinion, man. I'm telling you, when I'm sitting there at work, man, and I'm watching, and he goes off on a tangent. I'm like, this show must really suck tonight. Okay.
It's not me. It's more TC than anything.
Well, yeah, TC too. Yeah, he goes
TC be going in. All he really wants is his flash ring. That's all he wants.
Right,
I got a quick question. Yeah. I got a quick question for y'all. What did Savitar do outside of one episode when he whooped up on Jay and he whooped up on Barry to show that he was such a great villain?
I think.
What did he do?
Just for the simple fact, I think it was more the mystery factor to it, that nobody knew who he was and how he knew everything that they were going to do, even though he told them several episodes into, he was like, I'm the future fucking Flash. Okay.
Right.
But the way he had that pause in there. But I think that was really what the writers were trying to use as a device to push him as being bigger than life, because one, he stood, the stature of him in that armor was so big. And then the simple fact is like, well, I'm a god. I already said it, and I'm proving it to you by telling you exactly what you're going to do before you even do it. But when it came down to like fisticuffs, it was pretty much meh. So I mean, on that aspect, I agree, but I think that's the way that the writers were trying to go with it. Just because, I mean, like, seriously, like, if you see somebody just walk up to you looking that way, I'm gonna feel some kind of way, because he kind of reminds me of Megatron, and I'm like, I don't like that. Right. So I mean, and then he runs super fast. But I mean, I think that's what they were trying to use. But if that's what the only thing that they were trying to use, is piss poor on them, and they might need to go back to the drawing board next time.
Yeah, that was a fail.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to talk about a season finale that was top of the line, top shelf, world class. On a scale from 1 to 10, it was a 15, and it was the correct way how a show should close out its run, and that is Into the Balance.
I haven't caught up yet.
Okay, so
I'm gonna disappear anyway. I gotta go anyway. So you go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna put my non-spoiler thing on this because I need to watch it. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're gonna move on. We'll move on. We'll move on from this. Then we'll save that for when we get TC and the guys back. So we'll move on. We won't spoil it. I'll just say, Xavier, let's just say that if Al, if you had watched it, let's just say that you're missing a treat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
We'll do that. So let's
that's how Lois is supposed to be.
Yeah. That's the way you close it out.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Fear the Walking Dead returned this past Sunday, and It's probably one of the best episodes
Yeah,
of the entire. What is this? Xavier, fourth seasons now?
it's the
Fourth,
third season.
third season. This is probably the best episode outside of a couple of those first episodes in the first season. This was top of the line, top shelf. This was really good. It was a hell of a swerve midway
Yeah,
through the day the premiere,
yeah, it
and
was. Yeah,
I put on my Facebook status. I put on my Facebook status that it was. I call this the real Walking Dead, and I got slaughtered for it, but it's
by who?
better than the regular Walking Dead show.
It is by far.
I mean, it's a better show. It's a better show, and I think a lot of people are very upset because they people got sucked into the whole the mythos of the regular Walking Dead universe, and Negan, the and the governor, and it's Rick and Sean. Well, you got characters that are in this that are developing. I mean, just look at Al. Did you see Fear the Walking Dead? Have you had a chance to watch that?
I saw part of it. I didn't get to see the whole thing. I went to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
2 hours and 50 minutes of it.
it's
Yeah,
2 hours. Yeah, it's a nice long episode. And so towards the end of that episode, it made you wonder, like, what the hell is about to go on here?
right, right.
You don't really know who can trust who. Now you're at this point where you don't know who can trust who, and you're like, okay, this has gotten good. All right, you had a major character get knocked off, a major character get knocked off. Xavier, I was
I didn't see
so
that
in
coming.
shock
I did not see
when it
that
happened.
coming.
And it's been a while since I've been shocked on the show. I mean, even for the first 45 minutes to an hour, my hands were sweaty because it was that intense.
Yeah,
You know, it's been a while since I watched The Walking Dead with hands sweaty. So kudos to the crew. Now, if they keep up this kind of pace, then The Walking Dead is in trouble. And I probably won't watch next season. I'll probably just watch this from here on out.
and man, Nick is that dude. Go ahead, my bad. Al.
No,
No,
you
you're fine. Go
good.
ahead. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
go.
Go
You
ahead.
go ahead,
Go ahead.
Hicks.
No, I was just saying Nick is that dude on this show. I love Nick. Nick is he's the best
Well,
character on this show to me.
it's amazing to watch how he's developed, how they developed him
Right,
over the last few seasons from where he was when the show first started.
right.
Al,
What I was gonna say is basically the biggest thing that's plaguing The Walking Dead right now, man. The biggest thing that is plaguing that TV show is it's a linear show, and what I mean by that, The Walking Dead already has a foundation. It already had a structure with the comic books. We already know for us to a certain degree how certain storylines are going to end because the comic book is a little. They are actually a few years ahead of the TV show because after All Out War, I think they skipped like 4 or 5 years or something, and now they are since then they've already went into two more major story arcs. One with the Whisperers, and another one with oh, I can't remember. But anyway, it's another group. But anyway, I think because of the fact that the show is linear, they can make liberties to, like, of course, they kill certain people where other people supposed to die. Other than that, the show is predictable. When you're
Yeah,
dealing with Fear the Walking Dead, that's a blank canvas. They can do whatever the heck they want with that show because they are not tethered or tied to the comic book. Now, of course, they could do the same thing with The Walking Dead and throw everybody off. And I think if they did that, it would make for better television. But I think a lot of what we see, them adding new characters, them changing certain people, certain roles that certain people plays that they don't play in the comic book. I think it's to a degree it's affecting the show adversely in a negative way because they You know, of course Negan is there, but what else can we do? We can't kill him off. He's a fan favorite, So instead, we kill somebody else that people don't expect to die, but that person doesn't have the same dramatic impact as somebody else that would have died or should have died in the comic book. So I think once they can overcome that, and maybe they have to deviate from the book because right now, I don't know if y'all read that last issue that just came out. Man, that book is like it's on point. All I got to say is Negan
Yeah,
is that dude.
yeah.
He is that dude.
I hadn't read the one that came out this week. I hadn't read. We'll talk about that off the air, but I hadn't read that.
Okay.
But I just feel like the entire thing with the Fear the Walking Dead is just so unpredictable. You don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I can't tell you what's going to happen. There's no source material. There's
Right.
nothing there. There's no. I can't complain if they like Al. I can't complain if they knock off somebody. Now I did get a confirmation that my man is coming back this season, and that was all. I was thrilled about that. The old man, and so it's just a matter of how they're gonna bring him back. But I find it, man, that there's a whole lot going on here on Fear the Walking Dead. You got factions. What you've got, man, is in a sense, and for my gamers that are watching, this almost reminds me of Far Cry to, to a to a to a certain degree because you got all these factions running around. You got one faction that you got people that are just actively trying to survive,
Right.
and they're all over the place, and it's dog eat dog. You can't trust anybody. There is, you don't know who is who. You don't know who's with who. You even heard Nick Xavier say it in the second hour. I don't trust these folks. Nick
Right.
is, I don't trust these folks. We don't know no, we don't need to be going here. No, we know, you know, and it adds that drama that you're not getting that on the regular Walking Dead. You're getting pretty much a love story, and it's like watching a daytime soap opera.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
with the other Walking Dead, and they're playing to people's emotions with this show. And when I say playing to people's emotions, it's just like oh, Eugene, balloons and pickles and all that kind of stuff. And,
Yep.
it dilutes it weighs on you as a fan of The Walking Dead. And I really think that Fear the Walking Dead is. I think Kirkman, and I'm pretty sure I get slack for saying this, man, but I think Kirkman is more enthusiastic to work on Fear the Walking Dead because he has freedom, uh, Al, that he normally would not have, that he can have with
Right.
the Walking Dead.
I agree, man. And to add to that, I mean, when you look at the whole situation with The Walking Dead, man, you got a lot of people now, and a lot of players, that are currently, in the mix. Um, of course, you got Negan and the Saviors. You got the Kingdom with Ezekiel. You have, of course, Rick and crew. But then when you have the number of major supporting characters, that's, especially on Rick's side, you have Carol, you've got Morgan, which, by the way, those two people, been long gone in the comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been gone. So you got them, you got Carl, you got Michonne, you got oh goodness, what's her face? Glenn's wife.
Sasha.
Not Sasha, but Sasha kicked the goat skin. But Maggie, you got Maggie. Then of course you got Jesus, you got Spencer, you got all these people. So you got a situation where you have a lot of people. Daryl, you gotta at some point in time you're gonna have to start taking risks and sacrificing some people. Sasha, of course, they played out her death to be, dramatic and stuff. But to be honest with you, in my humble opinion, I mean, Sasha, they at the last part of the her run, they tried to give her like Andrea's position that
Hmm.
that she had in the comic book. But
Hmm.
it was, to me, it was a little bit too late to develop her character like that. They should have started that, if not before Tyrese died, after she died. So her death would have had a lot more impact. So I think that too with the character development. You got people running every which way. Of course, he's still gone. Nobody said nothing about Heath before the season finale. Tara, y'all know how I feel about her. You got all these people going around. I mean, what's his face? Dwight. He's not really the Dwight that's in the comic book. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of stuff that's going on, man, and you have the story in reference to the TV show that interferes with the actual show. You bound to have problems. Like I said, man, they're gonna have to off Daryl or something and add a different faction that's not in the comic book, kind of like they did with them Amazonian chicks that was in the woods, which they really didn't show no more. So I mean, they're gonna have to start taking risks. If they don't take the proper risk, I can see the ratings sliding down worse and worse. And let me just say this, and I'm done. It's not that the actual story is stale, because like I said, the last two issues of The Walking Dead, man, they were on point. I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but a major character kicked the bucket. But you would be hard pressed to see that watching the TV show right now, because it's like, man, is this all I get? So I think they're gonna have to start taking risks. They're gonna have to start deviating. It's gonna have to be like a what if comic book, and they're gonna have to veer away from the comic book to an extent to where it's not the same cut and paste and just insert this particular person with that person when somebody gets ready to die, because that's what they're doing right now.
Well,
That's
also,
really all they're doing.
and I'll say this too in closing on this topic is that you have the flexibility is so broad with the Fear the Walking Dead that I mean you could actually bring in if you wanted to do really be slick, you could actually bring in a season one Walking Dead character on that show
You could.
because because it's a show that was a prequel to The Walking Dead. I mean the flexibility with Fear the Walking Dead is unparalleled.
I can't remember that guy's name, but the very first season, after Rick hooked up with Shane and all them before they left the Atlanta area, it was an Hispanic family.
Hmm.
And that dude said, I would stay with y'all, but I got family somewhere up west or north or something like that. If they incorporated that, because of course this is like in the earlier stages of the outbreak, so you got two separate locations with Rick and crew. Of course, that particular story is a little bit ahead of what's going on in Fear the Walking Dead, but you can have it set up to where they meet at some point. And it doesn't have to be like a super major character that was in season one or two, just somebody that's recognizable to put the two and two together. But see, that's the beauty of Fear the Walking Dead. You have more creativity to do that than you do with The Walking Dead. Because the only way they can really make The Walking Dead fresh, they'll have to break away from the comic book altogether. And I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, the deaths on Fear the Walking Dead are something else, boy. They
Yeah, they are.
they
Yeah.
are way worse than the regular Walking Dead. Woo, you get
You you
that
know
cat
what
got
makes
pulled through the air conditioner duct. That was rough.
fear better than The Walking Dead? They're smarter. These people, if you actually look at the first, you ain't even got to watch the third season, being that it just started. But if you watch the first season of Fear the Walking Dead alone, they are smarter with the walkers than the people in The Walking Dead are. You know what I mean? Now, if you actually watch The Walking Dead and then Fear the Walking Dead, you'll think that The Walking Dead happened before Fear the Walking Dead. When this whole epidemic started, it took one crackhead to realize, oh, I need to hit them in the head. Let's give them a headshot. And that's all they're doing. And then these people in Fear the Walking Dead, they're like, look, we need to section off. We need to do this. We need to do that. Hey, we run this. Y'all try to do that. Y'all still got to answer to us. I mean, that's what they're doing in The Walking Dead, but it's in a smarter degree or a smarter aspect of. Um, you look at if you look at The Walking Dead, Rick when he first woke up, how long did it take Rick to become the dude that he? I'm not gonna say is now because he keeps going in and out of being a badass on the show, but it took him a minute to become Rick that we somewhat liked on the show. If you go to Fear the Walking Dead, once Nick kind of kicked the habit, Nick was like, "Yo, hey,
Nick turned
headshots.
to an Aztec warrior, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what? Hey, let me spin myself in the blood and walk around with these cats. This man walked in a herd of like 30 walkers. It took them in the Walking Dead. It took them like 4 seasons before they even thought about doing that. Maybe
Yeah,
five. You
yeah.
know, so I don't
Right.
I
No,
don't
they
get.
did it. They did it in that the first season, that episode
Yeah, when
Guts.
they got the car, when they got the car.
Yeah, it was Glenn and
Yeah,
Rick, so they
yeah.
did it then. But I get what you're saying, though, X.
Like this former
Let
crackhead
me
is
just
just
say this, and I'm gonna be done. I think the whole thing with Nick, there you go. That's it. The man was a former crackhead, and I don't want to sound like I'm insensitive or anything, but some of them folks, they got strong survival skills, even though they're addicted
right,
to dope. So I
right,
mean, once he got out that stuff, man, shoot, it made his clarity. He's already used to ducking and dodging people
right,
and doing what he needs to do to survive. Him being off that stuff, man, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he, whatever faction they have on their end, he becomes the leader of that faction,
right,
like Rick, because he has the sauce, like they say.
right.
Yeah, well,
Right. He could have easily been Negan.
yeah, easily. But like I said, it was a great debut, man, and I will be looking forward to seeing what the future holds for that show. I mean, we got a full 16 episode run, so I mean, we're on it. Preacher be debuting, and the season 2 will be debuting in a couple of weeks, so that's right down the pike as well. So we'll definitely be looking out for those. So I'm gonna trim down and run down a little bit here, and we're gonna kind of start narrowing it down here. We're gonna I saved this topic for Xavier specifically, but he's the resident Gotham man here on the panel, and we know who debuted on Monday night. We know that, but they're saying that word on the street is that Harley Quinn could possibly be on Gotham next season. So I'll let you take that, my friend, since you are the resident Gotham man. I haven't watched it since the quarter hour, so I don't know what's going on.
Hey man, damn Gotham. How about that? That's dude.
Now
You,
who showed that? Now
Wow.
Solomon Grundy showed up Monday, right? Correct.
yes, yes. They name dropped Solomon Grundy, and for those that don't know, Cyrus Gold is Solomon Grundy's real name, and they name dropped him in that. Then you already have you have the Lazarus Pit in Gotham City. You mean to tell me Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins are based out of Gotham now? Get out of here. Kill yourself. And then as far as Harley Quinn is concerned, this will be Harley Quinn part two on Gotham because it's already bad. They tried to make Barbara Harley Quinn when they did Jerome and the fake Joker. That didn't work out. So now they want to sit there and bring in Harley Quinn now. I mean, they done brought everybody else in. I said on our little private panel, they might as well bring Damian Wayne in there because nothing else makes sense on the show.
I mean, Batman was on the show at the end of the show, right?
Now, this fool, which I'm really upset that Bruce Wayne wears a turtleneck in every episode, but he had on a mask with the turtleneck pulled over the mask, covering his nose and his mouth, so he really couldn't breathe. But he jumps down into an alleyway where it's a group, a family of three, just like him and his mom and dad in the crime alley, and some mugger comes up, he swoops in, saves them, and then somehow, some way, without a grapple gun, without anything, he's up on the top of a building, looking down like it's a gargoyle and this and the other.
Damn Spider
I,
Man.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Oh, Morbius ass motherfucker. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss like that, but he just flew up to the top. Then he looks around. Oh, he stabs Alfred in the heart. Gets a bowl, dips it in the Lazarus pit, and pours the Lazarus juice in Alfred's heart. Now Alfred's sitting in the hospital trying to remember.
Jews.
Hey, They got the iceberg lounge in there, and guess what's the centerpiece of the iceberg lounge? A frozen, a frozen Riddler. So you have the Penguin who is basically running Firefly, Mister Freeze, who froze the Riddler, and he literally has him as the centerpiece of the iceberg lounge, which we will see in season 4. This is a great TV show right there, guys.
What a mess that is, man. What
It's
an absolute mess, man.
it's so
What a
bad.
Man,
mess.
I'm glad I
And
never stopped. Started watching
I
that.
could not get you to make that up if I asked you to. That sounded so stupid what you said.
I promise you that's what happened.
Oh my God, so
I'm so mad. You know, watching Gotham for me is like I can't help but watch it because I already have so many hours invested into this piece of shit to where I can't start watching. I have to see how much more they're going to mess up, which in return is nothing but punishment on me because I know all I'm gonna do is be pissed off every episode. I mean, you have almost every single one of his villains that have made an appearance on this show before he's become Batman. The boy has not gone off to boarding school or anything like that yet. Jim
I,
Gordon was taken over by the Mad Hatter by some tech blood. Man, I got a headache. I got a headache, like for real.
so
That
so
show
with
is
that,
terrible.
with that, we'll spare you the trouble, my friend. We'll move on. Let's move on. We'll dance over this. There has been confirmed a Sin City TV show. Yeah, that has been confirmed. I forgot which
Who's doing
studio. Uh, I can't remember. I have to go look. I saw it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see.
it? Is it on HBO or Showtime or Stars or something like
Yeah,
that?
you read my mind because I was
Yeah,
thinking the same thing.
They got too many areolas showing in Sin City to be on TV.
yeah. I'm trying to see. It looks like doesn't say. It just says it's confirmed. I don't see it here. This is one. I'll keep my eye on this one, and I'll confirm it for you for next. Who, what station is going to be on? I almost want to say this is probably going to be HBO. I'm almost certain it's probably be HBO because, like you said, it's so much hot coffee on there, man. Yeah, you're gonna have to have that on. After 10 o'clock, I know that.
Yeah.
So, E3 will be going on within the next couple of weeks. Now, Rainey, what would you like to see at E3?
You know what? To be honest with you, nothing. Because Tekken 7 came out. I don't know good now, man. So I don't.
No God of War, man.
I mean, God, it ain't coming out to next year. So I
Uh,
mean, it's like
December
how they
29th.
so they pushed it back up
Yeah.
because at first they pushed it to like February last next year,
Has that
and
been
now they
confirmed?
pushed it back up to December.
Is
We
that
we
confirmed?
yeah, that's confirmed. We're about to start doing pre-orders for it.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, in that case, God of War.
That would mean that they've been working on that game
You
for
know
over at
what?
least 2 years then.
Yep, they had to. But I mean, from what the video footage that they showed last year, kind of put me in mind that it was if it wasn't a finished product that they were at some point, they had some leeway in it. Um, but God of War looks like it's going to be a promising game. There is this one game that TC posted in the Pop Culture Buddies group. It was a survival horror game, and it looked like it was at a lumber yard, and the guy was running around killing zombies and stuff, and they actually was coming at the dude like on 28 days later, those types of zombies, and he would go and set up traps and set bombs up and stuff to kill them off. I
I know
can't
what you're
remember
talking about.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Yeah, I
I
know
can't
exactly.
remember the name of the game, but that game right there, that looks very good.
Like they were on a
So
farm and he was running up stuff and shooting with machine guns.
right,
Yeah, I
right.
know it.
He was
I can't
going
remember the
inside
name
of
of it.
barns and stuff. That
Yeah.
one looks good. Now there is one game I stand corrected that I've been waiting for since the spring of last year. Y'all might laugh at me, but I've made posts about it in the Pop Culture Buddies group, and it's called Cuphead. That particular game looks awesome, and basically what it is kind of like the old Gradius types games back in the day, or like maybe Contra, but the graphics are set like the 1930s cartoons, and the bosses are like larger than life and stuff. And that game has really intrigued me because I check pretty much every week to find out if there's a release date for it. It was supposed to come out October last year. They pushed it to like February, and now it's supposed to be the summertime. So I guess if they have some Cuphead video footage, I'm all for it. But I'm gonna check it out because it might be something that's flying under the radar. Of course, Red Dead was pushed back, so you know,
Yeah, that really stuck it up for a lot of us. So I just
yeah.
see what Well, you got that Norman Reedus game, the game with
Death Stranding.
yeah. That's one that interested to see how that's gonna turn out. Uh,
Man, don't even just call it a Norman Reedus game. You know, that's a new Metal Gear.
yeah,
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima. So we'll see. Like I said, it'll be here. We're gonna have look at the date. I believe it is next week. So we may do a special.
Has
Yeah, it is
has
next
anybody
next.
said anything good about Friday the 13th game?
Well, the problem is
I've
nobody can play it.
Yeah, I've seen nothing but bad reviews on that.
Yeah, I mean, this they. I think the studio should have waited until the game was properly tested.
Yeah,
Uh,
they've been
to
talking about it for
to
over a year now.
yeah, to have that game out. And by the way, E3 is next Tuesday through Thursday. And I believe the Sony PS4 day is going to be on next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll we may have just a smaller show, just an E3 show for you all next week. Uh, One of the things that segueing into what we were talking about games not being ready is and Namco, I'll give it to them, redeemed themselves today. They released the patch today, Al, uh, for Tekken 7. Now, Tekken 7, and this is kind of our new segment. What are you playing? And most of us are playing Tekken. Uh, Tekken 7. This is probably the best Tekken since Tekken 5
Wow.
DR.
Oh wow. That's a big
And
statement.
yeah, I'm normally not the. I mean, I like Tekken. I'm not like the. I don't have the same desires I do for Marvel vs. Capcom as I do with Tekken. So for me to be playing Tekken all the time tells me that it's a good game. Uh, my only gripe is I wish these developers would start testing these servers out and working these online bugs out uh, before the game is released. I've seen two infinite combos in the last week, and I've seen one or two online. I've experienced one or two of them, and it's enough is enough with some of that stuff. Uh, I think that they just need to start checking these servers before they release these games. I mean, that's what's killing Friday the 13th. People I've talked to said that it's a fun game when they can play it. That's different, you know. But they're just once again we admit Al is a victim of this with Street Fighter Five. These developers are not putting out games without testing them properly. They're just rushing out to get a product out. And oh well, we'll patch it. I mean, at some point we got to have a game that's ready to go. I mean, Overwatch, and I know me and TC talk about this all the time. Is that Blizzard is tried and true testing. People need to start consulting other people about servers, getting everything in order before a game is released. Now, Al, your thoughts on Tekken 7?
That game, man, it's a great game. I'm like, I'm very, very happy with that game. Uh, People have complained about certain things, specifically online, as you mentioned, and that's justifiably a justifiable rant because when you get a game and it's straight out the box, especially if you paid for the Ultimate Edition, Collector's Edition, which ran about 150 bucks. That unfortunately won't come with DLC, but I digress. You want a game that's going to come out and it's going to be smooth and run really well and what have you. And that would probably be my only gripe for Tekken 7 right now. Now, I did read earlier that Namco has dropped an update for um, the PS4 version of Tekken 7 that actually makes online matchmaking a lot easier. So, Eddie Murphy, if you're watching this will be right down your alley. And for any of our other viewers that have a PlayStation 4 and Tekken 7. So, pretty much, you're looking at a situation where um, they are going. I feel like Namco is going to correct the wrongs that came out. And I have noticed that as well. A lot of these games are coming out, and they're not up to par with their network, netcode, matchmaking, online play. Street Fighter had those problems. It plagued them for months. King of Fighters 14, which is a great fighter that came out on the PlayStation 4, they had an issue when they first was released. However, they were quick on the draw and heard the fans' cries and said, "Okay, we're gonna go ahead and fix this." And within a matter of weeks, maybe even less than that, they had it fixed and it's running smoothly. I feel Namco is going to do the same thing with Tekken. It's funny, of course, Injustice 2 came out a few weeks ago, and of course Tekken came out this last Friday, and I must say that I did get them both. And to be honest, I wasn't really going to get Injustice, but it's a good game. But I mean, if you want, and I'm saying this as unbiased as I possibly can because I love Tekken. I love Tekken. I love King. Uh, Rock bottom, man. They done gave that Joker a F5 now, all kind of crazy stuff. But anyway, um, if you are out there and you're looking for a fighter, Tekken 7 is the way to go. The replayability on that game is awesome. Namco has never really, in my opinion, disappointed in reference to content that their Tekken games have. They have all kinds of modes, online, offline mode. They have a story mode revolving around the Mishima clan, which Akuma from Street Fighter actually plays a role in, a big role at that. Um, Training mode is fun, learning all the moves and combos, juggles, and all that kind of stuff. They have a treasure mode. Treasure mode basically allows you to get fight money to customize your character and also unlock certain props and whatnot for various characters and specific costumes. So the game is a deep game.
Oh, they added a crypt to it.
It's not really a crib. It's called treasure. It's called treasure mode, and basically what it is, it's kind of like survival, like a survival mode. You're
Mm-hmm.
fighting characters and stuff, and at the end of each match, you either get fight money or money to buy, costumes and stuff, or you get like different props like sunglasses, masks, shade shirts, bottoms, pants, or whatever. Some of the stuff may be, unisex for all the characters. Some of it might be character specific. They have like different chart, like chests, like a gold chest, a brown chest, I think a platinum chest. Platinum chests normally have like the biggest treasures, like 20 million gold or something like that. But I'm telling you, man, the depth of that game in reference to playability, Tekken's one of those type of games where you don't have to play the arcade mode, man. You just pop that Joker in, man, and you could do the survival mode and be content just sitting there, just going to work. Of course, online, of course, it's the coup de grace, but it's one of those games, man, that has really long playability. Hopefully, with them going to this DLC route, I read that they were supposed to be releasing 3 additional characters. I don't know how true that is. They're bringing Tekken Bowl back from Tekken Tag,
Oh
which
wow.
I like. Yeah, I like that game. Now, that was pretty nice. So they're
Yeah.
bringing that back, and then they're supposed to be bringing additional skins. I'm hoping to see Lei Wulong somewhere and Bruce Irvin
He's
because
not
they're
in the
not.
game.
No, they're not in the game. But see, this is what they did, and Matt can elaborate more on this as well. What they did with Tekken, they pretty much they have several new characters. I want to say they have about like 5 or 6 new characters in the game, and the game itself, in my opinion, as far as the character roster, it balances out. It's not like a Street Fighter thing where you got like 12 characters up front. I think they give you like 35 characters off the rip. But what I'm thinking and what Matt pretty much said is that they pretty much came up with the idea of giving people what would have normally been considered with Capcom or anybody else DLC characters, giving them people off the rip, and then of course if you want to get additional characters like Lei Wulong or Bruce Irvin or Wayne, they're going to release them via DLC via the season pass. Which personally, I will say this, and I'm done. I don't have a problem with that at all. Um, they're going to release will determine whether or not I decide to get the season pass. That Tekken Bowl in itself, I might just get it off of that alone, but um, we'll see. But man, I give that game a thumbs up. It is a very, very good game. Very good game.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's solid, and as Al said, I think that one of the things that they did well was they gave you a nice amount of characters right out the gate, and characters that you normally would be missing. You won't, unless you go looking for them, you won't know that they're missing because it's just a really solid put together roster, and I really think that they're going to end this thing with a lot of. I think this is going to be a game that Namco's going to kind of continuously kind of keep putting stuff out for it, and I mean it's a loaded game. It's a very loaded game, well put together, and I was highly impressed with the roster. And I really thought that, I mean, even down to Akuma, and I was the biggest like, why is he in this game? But once you start playing with him, you see why he's in the game.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really good.
he
So,
fits in perfectly with the whole. It's yeah, he fits in perfectly with him.
yeah. So, all right. Well, with that, fellas,
Him
uh,
versus Heihachi just makes sense too.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a, yeah, that's, it's just, there's character, each character balances out another character. And that's the great thing about this Tekken is that it's more balanced than normally Tekken's a pass. Where you've got one character just runs the show, and on this one is you got a character that cannot do the character, another character rather. Well, it's time for our favorite part of the show, and we're going to defer things. We're going to do things a little different. We're going to let Xavier start off today.
Oh man.
Yeah, Xavier's going to do our start out with the halls tonight. Brother Randall, take it away.
I got a couple. I'm gonna just do what I did this week. Um, we've been out for a while. I'm not gonna show every single thing that we got for those past 3 weeks. But start off with Batman 24. I can't wait
That's
for
the one
next.
where that's the one where he proposes to Catwoman, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I read an article about that.
Hey, the next Batman 25 is gonna be the battle between the Riddler and the Joker. So I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I also got Nightwing 22. Got the variant cover of this one. This is just what Will put in my pool box, so I ain't gonna complain. I had Harley Quinn 21. I have Green Arrow 24. Batman Beyond 8. I have Teen Titans Special number 1. This is the Judas, not the Judas, the Lazarus Contract finale right here, which was pretty decent. I'm not even mad at that. And one that I did get last week is the Trinity Annual number 1. Haven't read it yet. I'm gonna dig into this because I've really enjoyed the Trinity series so far with Rebirth. But that's it for what I have from this week.
Good job.
Oh, I did get my copy of the Flash 22 lenticular. So I have all 4 lenticulars for that little run.
That last one they came out with that old school cover, man. I love that thing,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't like how the story ended, but I did like the series of that little run.
I haven't finished it yet, man.
I'm
My
not gonna
job.
spoil it for you. I'm not
No,
gonna
I
spoil it.
ain't saying it because of that. I'm just, man. I'm so behind on my reading, man. It's crazy.
That's a late shift for you, man.
Yeah,
You a midnight marauder now.
yeah. It'd be better once I move back down that way. So,
Cool, cool, cool.
all right, so Matt. Is you there, sir? You're dropped off planet Earth.
Nah, he said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, in that particular case, man, since you're done, I guess I will go ahead and start. I have a few, and I'm kind of like you, X. The last few weeks I've picked up quite a few books, in particular, newer stuff. So I'm basically going to go over just some of the newer things that I picked up. Uh, let's see here. I gotta get my stuff organized too. So, this is gonna be like a melange of things. Picked this up today. It's Reborn number 6. I was late to the party getting the Spawn variant for that. This is one title that I collect that I have not. I haven't read issue the first. So once I get to a point after this move and everything, man, I'm gonna sit down and just start reading. So I got to catch up on a lot of stuff. Um, Killer Be Killed number 9. I like this cover. It's really nice. Um, I need to catch up on that.
I was just
And
gonna ask, have you read that one yet?
not yet. I need to read 7 and 8. So that's how far behind I am on that. Um, I got 7 to Eternity 6. And this one, of course, I need to catch up on that because I haven't read 5 or 6. In the same vein of 7 to Eternity, I got the black and white Spawn variant.
That's dope.
Yeah, 7 to Eternity. I got the colored version. They did a colored version. Colored version. They did a colored version of. They had a black and white and a colored version of God Country, uh, number 5 Spawn variant. I missed out on the black and white, but I got the colored one. But I got it boxed up, so it's been filed away. Let's see here. I went ahead and picked this up. This is the final series, Dark Knight 3, the Master Race. Let you in on a little secret. I haven't read this one either, so I gotta read this one from one all the way up. I
We in
got
the same boat.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I need to do better. I got this Walking Dead 168. This right here, man. I'm telling you, it pretty much cements Negan as a major player. Like I said, the show doesn't do the comic book justice right now. The comic book is like years ahead. I also picked this up, and the only reason why I picked it up, of course, it was the variant, the Pride variant. But this is starting to actually catch some steam on eBay, so I'm gonna see what that's gonna look like over the next week or two. Um, Picked up Secret Empire 3. Now, a lot of people, I'm telling y'all, people are getting hung up on this whole Captain America deal as far as him being quote unquote communist, even though he's with Hydra. But I'm telling y'all, that's one of the best storylines. And y'all know how I've been critical of Marvel lately. That's one of the best stories that Marvel has churned out in quite some time. It's better than Original Sin. It's better than the Secret Wars that came out a little while ago. Um, there's another event they threw in there too. I can't remember, but it's a really good story. Really good story. All right, so I got Green Arrow 24. Got to catch up on him. I got Green Lanterns 24. Surprisingly, I have been reading those. Picked up a copy of Redneck, the variant cover for Redneck One. Uh, Redneck number 2, got that one. This is a really good book, ladies and gentlemen. If you need something to like, get into, it's a really good book. It's written by the same guy that has written God Country and also this book here, which is released called Baby Teeth. This is another one. And Matt, I got some good news. They did have another one, so I got you a copy.
Bless you.
No problem. So I got that for you. I got some other stuff, but I'm not gonna show it. These are 2 books that I actually picked up via eBay. These are my eBay pulls. I got a few more things coming, and then I'm gonna slow down on eBay. But if you've been watching the show, you know that I pretty much have a couple of goals regarding comics. One of my main goals is to have every first volume of any X-Men title that's been released. I already got New Mutants Lock, first volume of that. Got every issue, couple of dupes. Uncanny X-Men, I'm looking for 140 more, and then I had that full first run. Excalibur, X Factor, all of them. So that's one of my goals, is to get every X book for the first run. Another one of my goals is to pick up key issues that happened in the 70s and early 80s. So when Guardians came out, TC posted a picture or a link to this particular comic book, so I figured I'd pick it up because it might pick up some steam. Thank you, TC. I appreciate it. But this is probably going to pick up some steam, man, when the next Guardians come out, or maybe the Avengers Infinity War. And it is Strange Tales featuring Warlock, number 178. So I got this book. So I probably get that one slabbed. Then this one came today. Told Matt about this one. This one is also another book that's probably going to increase in value based on various rumors. And this is called Nova number 1. So, and this is in really good shape, man. According to the tag on the back, it's an 8.5, and it looks really good. So these are the books that I have, along with a couple of other ones. So that's it for me, sirs.
All right, excellent haul there, fellas. So I've got what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put up all my Spawn variants because I'm like Al, some of those we've already seen. So we'll go ahead and dive into things here. Uh, I was in Savannah a couple of weeks ago. Had a chance to stop by a comic book store down there. Two, well, I stopped by 3, as a matter of fact, and all 3 had this particular book. And the first 2, I think it was about 60, 80. You know, one was 100, the other one was 60. And so I just kind of waited and ended up going to a place called Planet Fun, walking with my girlfriend. I said, well, let me stick my head in there and see what's in there. And so I looked up, and they had their comics like at the very top of the roof. Looked up, man, and I saw a Defenders number 10, which is I want to say this is the first time of the Hulk and Thor fought, and picked it up for $20. So that's that one. They had also had Defenders 9. I got them for $7. I was down in Columbus last week, well, in Albany rather, last week, and was going through some boxes, and I looked up on the shelf, and the gentleman had like 4 of these sitting on the shelf. And I said, well, how much are you selling those for? And he said, well, man, I tell you what, I'll do this one for you for 30. And I was like, well, hell yeah, for that price, I'll be more than glad to take it. And it's the Omega Man first appearance of Lobo. So first appearance of Lobo. Same store. I looked up on the rack they had, and I saw it. And this is on my list of covers to grab because it's one of my favorite Batman covers. This is a Batman number 244, Silver Age,
Ra's al Ghul. Yep.
Ra's al Ghul.
Rich.
Excuse me, not Silver Age, but Bronze Age, Ra's al Ghul. So yesterday, I stopped by our favorite store in Atlanta,
The book nook.
the Book of the Nook, and I was completely blown to bits when I looked up and saw this. I'm gonna let y'all see what the price is on it. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna look at the price. Giant Batman Annual. Look at it. See that? $5.
No.
Look at the condition of this book. Absolutely, absolutely stunning.
In my Vegeta voice. Impossible.
All right, so after I picked that up, I decided I'd go over to the Marvel section and look around in boxes. First appearance of Apocalypse, X Factor, number
Number
6. Now,
six.
I
it's
thought
a
you
little bit
already
of
had that.
little bit of a nick right here. No, I never had this. I never even had the X Factor comic books until I got this one.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and $10. It has a few flaws, but for $10, I'll take it.
When Will
Yeah.
finished unpacking, he had that at the old store.
I didn't even, I probably looked at it and not even realizing what it was until, and then I found out what it was. I kept it on the radar. All right, well, this is one that is, I didn't realize how expensive this book has become, how quickly it's become expensive. This is a Mark Spector Moon Knight, number 57, and this is Todd McFarlane. This is also a homage to Spider-Man 300 and 301.
Yeah.
Yeah, so snag that. Another book that has gained traction and has become hot. If you see it, grab it. This is second print, but it is Batman #1, New 52. One of the main reasons why is because it's Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Glapion all on one cover. These are all hot artists and writers. So this is the second, and ironically, it's the damn quarter hours. By the way,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a court.
pick this one up yesterday from
And
go ahead, Al.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead. You go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say I picked this one up from good old Will yesterday. I'm on the quest to collect all of the Harley Quinn Frank Cho variants. Thick Harley. Okay, Al.
No, I was just gonna say that first print of that Batman, Batman 1. That's the most expensive book that came out of the New 52 as far as the current worth or value for it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very expensive book. While in Columbus, I would put these on my list of. Wouldn't quite put them at Grail status, but I'll put them up there. They're very, very hard to come by. Most times you can find one, but you rarely can find both at the same time. And finding them in pretty good shape and at a good price. I mean, I was really, really ecstatic with the price I was able to get both of these.
You got a
These
lot
are
of
very.
hands going on.
This is Green Lantern and Green Arrow. This is the infamous drug issue.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
one
it was
with Roy.
speedy.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
speedy.
yep, got both of them together. I think this one was the priciest of the lot. This one was 50, and this one was 12. So, and you can go look on eBay and see how much these are going for. They're pretty doggone expensive.
He's on that heroin bad boy. Woo.
Yeah, he was.
Uh,
Crack
Yeah, he
kill
was.
Applejack.
Mighty Thor 411. First appearance. I want to say it's
The New Warriors.
New Warriors. Yep, New Warriors. First appearance of New Warriors. My Spawn variants. Uh, Deadly Class, and I have the black and white version of Black Cloud. Uh, Everything else I've got the same thing that Al has. I'm not sure, Al. Did you put up God Country?
Nah, I didn't.
Okay,
I boxed it up. Yeah.
okay. I've got the God Country variant. Uh, Radioactive Man #1 from The Simpsons, and uh, Magdalena Spawn variant, which I thought was a really cool cover. We have Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers 1. And you
What?
got yeah.
Hold up, I ain't know nothing about that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that a limited series or what?
Yeah, I think it's like four books.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get that there.
And so me and Weldon, we went to Antique Mall last week and was looking around and came up on this. I came on this Golden Age gem for $10. Dick Tracy, number 69.
Ah,
So
yes,
got
sir.
that one. And on a quest to complete my Ninja Turtles Volume 1 uh, set, I managed to come across a grail of mine, which is and Xavier's gonna really flip because I just thought about this. This is first appearance of Casey Jones
Casey Jones. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it.
at the
I
good old
knew it.
book nook, and you see how much that book, $15. So got that one. That same book was in Savannah at Planet Fun for 150.
Mm,
Oh.
And so for those who
that's
watch Cowardly Dog, Courage the Cowardly Dog, you know what I mean when I say this. Return of the Slab. Got the
Is
that's
that Vampire Hunter D?
Vampire Hunter D, the Kickstarter variant. You had to donate $20 to get it. But I went ahead and not only did I donate $20, but I went ahead and sprung for the guaranteed CGC. I think there's only like a couple of hundred of these out there. So
that joker look clean.
it is
Yeah.
nice.
Like you polished it with Windex before the show.
It is nice.
He probably did.
Yeah. Spit shine.
All right. And we're getting ready to round this thing off. I saved the best for last.
Here we go.
Save the best for last. And get my
Nephew hold on special.
plastic on here. And this is one that I grabbed. I went ahead and grabbed it before. Uh, I know it's going up, and it's just one of these things now, especially for some announcements that have been made. And I went ahead and got it. And I tell you, I don't see it as normally as I see other comic books, which therefore notate to me that this is something you want to go ahead and grab now. New Teen Titans #1,
Hmm.
9.0 CGC. So I've got 1, 2, and 3, and I've got the annual. And the only one I'm missing that I've got the I want to get the Deathstroke, but
That's clean too.
yeah. And so that is my haul for this week, and I've actually got 1 or 2 things on the way that I'll save for the next show.
Hey, do me a favor, man. Let me see that BG. You know
You
what I'm
know,
talking about. The
yeah.
BG.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second, Al.
All right.
Lord, he really got to go dig for that one, man. Oh Lord.
The vault.
No, I put it in a secret box for Brother Al.
Yes. Yes. Well,
It's
Undertaker, yes.
Black Goliath #1.
Yeah.
I actually picked this up, man, and I was thinking that I wasn't quite sure if I already had it, which I do. I forgot I had it slabbed. So this is Al Rainey's Black Goliath.
Black Goliath.
For those that are watching, I want you all to know how many comments you have to forget that you had one slab.
Hey, that shit happens, man.
Just saying.
Woo.
You know.
I told him he need to catalog his stuff, man.
I have. I did a little bit of that today.
Good, good.
So with that, everybody, it has been a quite long hiatus. We will not make it this long next time. We totally apologize. We've all been busy. Al is in between moving. Xavier's been working. I've been working. TC is working, which is why he's not on tonight. Weldon is working. Vince is being dead. We've all been tied up. We all want to let you know that we have not forgot about you all.
Larry's parts unknown.
Yep, Larry's parts unknown. And we will return. We will probably do a small show next week, just a small E3 recap, just people's thoughts on E3, and then we'll return with our full show uh, in 2 weeks.
Did y'all want my top 10 right quick?
We're actually gonna hold top tens this week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're actually gonna hold our top 10, so we have everybody on the panel because everybody's gonna be arguing about the best.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Yep. So we'll save that one. And also, I wanted to see if I have it here. I do, which is right here in front of me. For those who are in Georgia, where we are, the Atlanta Comic Convention is coming to town, and that will be on July the 2nd, which is a Sunday, from 11 to 5 p.m. So me and Al, Xavier, you're more than welcome to ride up. We are definitely going to be taking part in this, so you might want to go ahead and mark your calendar. So it is July the 2nd, 11 to 5 p.m., the Atlanta Comic Convention. So I shall be there to see what I shall get. So
July
with that
2nd?
being July 2nd.
Okay.
So with that being said, everyone, we want to say thank you for tuning in to this night's Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Please, for those who have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And also go back and take a look at our old videos. And we are approximately just a little ways out. We're about 45 days away from our 1 year anniversary. As Shao Kahn just said, outstanding. So with that, we want to say good night. Look forward to seeing you soon. May the force be with you.